Hello, everyone. This is the Seafoam Islands Draft League, um, week 5, and I believe this is game 5. We have Juge, coach of the Roraima Raichus, on the left there, and then we also have Benji, who is coach of the New York Garbodors there, on the right. Both of these teams are very strong, and both have had quite a good record going into this so far. Both are 3-1, so they have clearly done very well. So we're excited to see how this game is going to play out. Now going into Megas, on Juge's side, we have Scizor, which we can see he's brought there. And then on Benji's side, we have Gallade, which obviously he's also brought. Z users, we have for Juge, Galarian Moltres, Z Attack, and Mamoswine, Z Any. For Benji, it's Z Any for Alligator, and Z Attack Typhlosion. Now, I think just right off the bat, these teams do look fairly evenly matched. I do think that Volcanion is going to be doing a fair amount of work, kind of being the defensive backbone for Juge. I think it's going to be kind of the main Darmanitan switch in. It's going to be the main Feraligatr switch in. Scizor will also kind of be doing a lot of work as well, just because you need multiple things for Darm. That thing is a monster. There aren't a lot of answers for Gallade on Juju's team, I'm noticing, and especially like if maybe Galvantula can get up webs for it to sort of sneak past like Dragapult and Cinccino. That kind of has the potential to do a lot of damage. So we'll have to see how Juge kind of plays around that. Darmanitan also kind of has a lot of opportunities here depending on what coverage it has, but if Mamo's like, I don't know, a Stealth Rock set, that limits it a bit because it'll have to be coming like in and out, and there isn't really a hazard removal on Benji's side. So if Mamo gets the chance to kind of set up rocks, that could definitely hamper the team quite a bit. The other thing I'm noticing is that it does look like Benji has a slight edge in terms of just the longevity game. Obviously, Mega Scizor could have like Roost or something, but Toxapex is probably going to be better at taking hits as a more kind of dedicated defensive wall, and then you also have like Celesteela there, which the only thing that kind of is going to be good at dealing with Celesteela like offensively is going to be Volcanion and like maybe Choice Specs Thunderbolt Dragapult, but I'm kind of skeptical about the viability of that one. So yeah, just kind of another example of this game really riding a lot on Volcanion, but we'll see how Volcanion does in this game, and obviously Volcanion doesn't have any kind of sustain, so if it gets kind of worn down, that could be kind of dangerous for Juge. But on the other hand, Mamoswine looks like it also will do a lot of damage, Breloom as well. Dragapult, Ghost is always like a good offensive type to have. There's no real Ghost resist. And then, you have a lot of priority to even deal with like the webs game. Like you got Scizor and Breloom and, Mamoswine, even though some of those priority moves aren't really super potent here. Like Ice Shard isn't really going to be doing a significant amount of damage to anything, but Bullet Punch, Mach Punch probably will be good for Darmanitan, obviously. Was there anything else? I don't think so. I think we're just going to get into the game. So the lead's going to be Cinccino, which is interesting. I think Cinccino is kind of a late game cleaner, but okay. Tail Slap going to do a very good amount of damage to the Gallade, but I think the Gallade is just... Oh, it's not going to take out the Cinccino immediately. So it's going to live. And the Cinccino isn't choice banned, which is also interesting. Triple Axle, okay. And yep, the Volcanion is going to come in on the Celesteela. It's not going to take that much damage. So it'll be interesting to see who... Well, I mean, probably Toxapex. Yeah, Toxapex comes in here. Not going to take a lot of damage. Now, this is kind of like a stalemate situation because they kind of stand off against each other. Oh, right, it gets that. Okay, so... Yeah, that looks about right. But it's not going to be enough. The Earth Power isn't going to be enough because Toxapex can just recover that back. So we'll see if it does that here. And hopefully this Dragapult has Thunderbolts. It does, but it still isn't enough, like I thought. So that basically just shows that the only thing that really will be able to deal with this Toxapex is Mamoswine, which is kind of dangerous. Dragapult will stay in on the Galvantula. Not going to do that much. This thing is not Specs. If it was Specs, it might have been able to take out the Toxapex. Again, it's not going to be able to take out to like 2-hit the Toxapex, but I think switching out did allow it to get off the Toxic, which is probably huge. Breloom comes in, gets rid of that sort of Toxic, but again, it's kind of hard to tell. Whoa. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause that for a second. All right, so at first I thought that Breloom wouldn't really be able to do much to Toxapex, but I did think bringing in Breloom was a good move because it kind of circumvents the whole Toxic situation, but I guess that Breloom must be Technician and not Poison Heal, which is really fun. And then I did not expect Bullet Seed to do as much damage as that did to Toxapex. So now that Toxapex is gone, that's going to be huge because now, well, that just gets rid of a really big part of the defensive core, I guess. Yeah. All right. So Gallade's going to come in. That forces the Breloom out. Zen Headbutt is going to be resisted by Scizor. We probably see a Bullet Punch here. Yep, that's going to take out the Gallade. Celesteela comes in. That probably also forces the Scizor out. It's probably going to use like a fire move, right? Yeah. So now Toxapex isn't here to take Volcanion. So the best answer for Volcanion here is just to go, yeah, for Alligator, which isn't really the best defensive wall. Dragon Dance, yeah. Toxic, okay. So now, if Volcanion can be preserved, I think this game looks fairly positively on Juge, and the Cinccino goes down. Mamoswine comes out. I think this is probably... Oh, okay. Oh, it was baiting the water moves so that... Okay. It baited the water move for Volcanion to come in. That's fun. I like that. Mamoswine comes back in. Ice Punch on the Volcanion. And then probably Ice Shard here. Oh, no Ice Shard. But Z Liquidation, I assume, is probably going to take out the Mamoswine. The Feraligatr goes down to Poison. So now Volcanion is kind of just free to do whatever it wants, but it does need to watch out for the Poison. Thunder misses the Dragapult. And Fire Blast is going to kill the Galvantula. And then Fire Blast kind of just gets rid of the other two as well, honestly. But depending on, like, if Darmanitan is Scarf, then, which it is, it will take out the Dragapult. But Volcanion just comes in for free and takes out the other two, so... yeah, I think this is game for Juge. Celestial survives the flamethrower, but it's not going to survive a second one. Okay, it's going to protect stall. Goes down, and then you really only need to kind of have one more. And then Scissors in the back for Bullet Punch if Volcanion goes down, so yeah. Well, both of them, honestly. Braylon comes out, Mach Punch, yeah. And that's going to be game. Good game on both sides. I think that kind of the turning point here was taking out the Toxapex, because the Toxapex was basically the only thing keeping Volcanion from running haywire, which it did. But I think Juge did a really good job at kind of keeping Volcanion healthy, especially after it got hit with the Toxic, and the switching it in to get the heal from the Water Absorb was also very, very cool. So, yeah, good game from both sides.